identifying Arab women from the less human to the post-feminist, a multimodal discourse analysis in art and creative media. This is the title of my presentation, which actually presents a number of uh, artists, of women artists from the Arab geography, let's say, who identify as Arabs, um, and live in displaced societies. And also, one of those artists lived in Egypt, actually. She traveled across some foreign countries and some foreign, let's say, geographies, but she lived most of her life in Egypt. And unfortunately, she lived a short life. She died early, or she passed away early due to the illness of some disease. So let's say, in general, how do I identify Arab women from the less human to the post-feminist? So this is a short abstract. Arab women artists challenge the patriarchal society dynamics, or the patriarchal social dynamics, by portraying active individualities rather than passive identities. Their radical role is significant in transforming established patriarchies over time through contemporary art, which portrays the images of social realities, identity dilemmas, gender systems, and geopolitical narratives. The current chapter focuses on four female artists, on the artworks of four female artists in the context of post-colonial and post-feminist criticism. They share a collective aesthetic attitude to belong to the Arab geography and identify as Arabs, or or North Africans who live across displacements. The manifestations of their works render several socio-political conditions, representing multi-layered maps of imagined geographies and displaced societies, as well as symbolisms of personal place, time, and fashion in the context of visual language. They render memories and narratives into four artworks and assemble a dialogue reimagining patriarchal dynamics throughout houses, neighborhoods, and families in creative media. This investigation encounters the researchers who locate women's role in transforming the dynamics of patriarchal social systems through time and place. To some extent, and during several arguments with colleagues, and especially with the editor of the volume, Dr. Rad Khairallah, we discussed about the let's say the hierarchies or the stereotypes of what we call patriarchy, and we tried to look into this terminology from a critical lens, somehow to deconstruct it, sometime to reconstruct it. And we noticed that patriarchy is not subjected, or is not located, or is not connected mainly into Arab geography. And we can find this patriarchy in different societies. And I myself can call patriarchy as a social construction where you can find it in any geography. It's not let's say something that was made by a certain geography. However, as an artist myself, as a researcher, I would look into this patriarchy from a critical lens to see whether women faced patriarchy, or creative women faced this patriarchy in their homeland geography, or also they faced this patriarchy when they, let's say, displaced, uh, when they traveled into a foreign, or when they immigrated, displaced, shifted into a foreign landscape. Um, My presentation aims to critique the role of visual arts in constructing or deconstructing patriarchal dynamics. Women's identity is part of this argument, overlapping with identity of social patriarchs, leaders, enslaved people, odalisks, killers, and victims. Arts represented humans unequally. Some arts represented humans unequally. Some individuals appeared more or less human than others in arts, whether it's contemporary arts or like modern or classical arts. We can find that humans were not represented in an equal way. There was some kind of hierarchy and patriarchy all across the art history. Artists and authors labeled social groups as Africans, Asians, Europeans, men, women, young, and old. All these visual classifications of humans manifested messages to specific viewers to teach them certain ideas about other humans. All of this constructs the patriarchal hierarchy. Um, Museums, sometimes if we go to some museums, we find some kind of patriarchy in representing others. So the concept of patriarchy probably could be transnational, transcultural from critical point of view. So how do artists revolutionize society, and how do they use their tenses? How do they use past, present, and future? How do they use their elements? How do they use their principles of art to revolutionize the stereotypes in our minds, in our perception regarding society or social dynamics or social, say, roles in their environment or in their ecology? The first artist that I'm going to talk about is Mona Hatoum. Mona Hatoum is one of the really revolutionary artists. She changed the stereotype. She changed actually, or she challenged many stereotypes, not just the feminine versus feminist stereotype, but rather she uh, challenged the identity, the individuality, and the personal reflection of herself in art. Actually, she is multi-layered artist. She is deep. She is highly critical. She didn't imitate what she sees, rather than she criticized. She deconstructed her visual ecology into a new artistic dialogue. She constructed a high visual impact in her artworks, and I can call her evocative artist, provocative artists, or provocative artist. Her artworks invite the audience to think and rethink from different point of views. She was born in 1952 in Beirut. She identifies as a British Palestinian visual artist who lives in the United Kingdom and practices multimedia and installation arts. In some of her interviews, actually, She prefers to identify as a British Palestinian rather than a British Arab. She has her own point of view. She has her own point of view regarding this issue, but also this leads us to rethink identity from different point of views. She does not link herself to the bigger, let's say, Arab geography rather than a specific geography of her own. Uh, the geography that she believes she came from, or she's linked to, or she's roots into. So she prefers to identify as a Palestinian, as a British from Palestinian origins. This artwork, she's one of the leading or pioneering feminist artists from the Arab world, actually. And this artwork was made in 1983 under the title So Much I Want to Say. This is her own face. And as we can see in the images, she's representing a struggle between her face, her identity, her features, her eyes, with someone else's hands. The hands are anonymous. We don't know the identity of those hands, but rather these hands are trying to silence her up. The artwork, from a critical point of view, we can spend a lot of time talking about this work, but the message, the main message of this artwork, represent the freedom of speech and how she rendering this the patriarchy actually and how she or he how she criticizes the patriarchy over the freedom of speech in a visual dialogue. Um, Leaving into or moving into the other artist, Amal Knawi. Amal Knawi forced me actually to use the past tense in this presentation because she passed away very early in 2012. She was born in Cairo, Egypt. She's an Egyptian contemporary artist, practiced video art and performance. And here um, in this regard, we can see how death forces us to um, use the past tense sometimes, even if we are talking about contemporary live artists. She's young. She's a very significant artist. She participated in a probably at her age, at her time, she was one of the outstanding artists who participated in the international art events. She's an international artist, Egyptian artist. This artwork is a performance artwork. I attended this artwork myself in 2007 in Amman, and in this artwork she represents um, a very interesting visual message regarding the wedding dress she is making in front of the audience, and which she's presenting alongside um, other, let's say, visual elements, other visual messages, or other visual images of a heart. And while she's stitching all those things. She's representing the body from a different point of view. This dress is somehow is a reflected or a passive, probably, or a negative image of the body, or a negative mold of the body, or a negative cast of the body. So she's presenting her identity from different point of views, not our point of views, but rather her own point of views. Um, she's challenging the patriarchy of our perception in this artwork. The other artwork is made by Lala Saidi. She's a Moroccan visual artist who also worked in Morocco and outside Morocco. Uh, she's um, she's an established artist actually, and she represents. Also, she focuses in her art on the feminine identity. Um, this artwork somehow also represent for women in different ages, or if we can say for females in different ages. In this regards, I also would like to refer to one of the arguments that I had with Rod regarding using the word or the term uh, woman or female. And I once used female when she called me to, use a woman instead. But sometimes female is not, or female, the word female does not only symbolize the body of the woman, but also she is more objective. Female can symbolize or can refer to young or old, or actually it's more objective than referring to the age or the background or the social background. Yes, sometimes female refers to the body of the woman. Sometimes it's very objective, but also it gives us an abstract idea about women, and it abstracts the gender, or sorry, it abstracts the age, it abstracts also the social background of women. So this is why sometimes in this presentation I use the word female to refer to the abstract female without referring to her religion, her social background, or her age, all of which form her personal, social, religious identity. So using the word female sometimes give us an abstract idea of an artwork without referring to the social, religious, cultural background. So this is one of the benefits of using the word female. Lala Saidi in her artworks represent this idea of the present, future, and past female, and also she uses the local fashions, the types of the local fashions. She uses the fabrics. She uses the textures to represent her feminist point of view. And this is also some kind of, uh, you know, questioning the patriarchal perception of women in art. The final artist I will talk about is Lydia Orahman, who was born in 1992 in Saïda, Algeria, and she displayed her artworks in different countries and different places across Europe, Africa, and also some of the Arab world countries. Lydia Orahman um, is highly conceptual artist. This is one of the artworks that she displayed in Istanbul Biennale in 2017. Um, she uses a room exactly like Amal Kinawi, but from a different point of view with a different abstraction. Amal uses the word room, and she presents what is inside her room: a dress, heart, stitching, or some tools for making fashion elements and fashion things. But Lydia is presenting a very abstract room. Uh, we can find an identity in Amal Kanawi's room, but in this room we can't detect what kind of identity of those people who live inside this room. This is a very abstract, concrete room, an installation, an art installation, which was presented in the Istanbul Biennale, in a very open space of Istanbul Biennale. The artwork's title, the name of the artwork is All the Way Up to the Heavens and Down to the Depths of the Hill. This expression represents the ownership. It means that whenever you own a piece of land or a piece of property, you own whatever upside it and whatever down of it. So it represents some kind of ownership. And in this artwork, she criticizes the this kind of deep belief of owning things, and this is some part of patriarchy. People think that uh, they own other people, like if they own properties. So she criticizes the patriarchal society in some way by presenting this blank, empty, abstract artwork, uh, and she focuses on the term of the ownership, and how does the philosophy of the ownership create a patriarchal point of view in society. Um, by the end of this presentation, it's a little bit long presentation. I will try to short it up somehow, but I would like to thank the audience for listening. And hopefully tomorrow I will be presenting this live, and I will give way to discuss my ideas with other participants. Thank you very much, and thank you for listening.